All right. Well, while we saw in the case of Smith versus Pillsbury, it is reasonable for companies to have the right to terminate their employees for use of emails that are sent on an employee-based server. Even when those employees had been notified that their messages were going to be modified, the courts found that they did not have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the email conversations between employees and their supervisors. We now look at a very different situation and set of circumstances that unfolded in this case. There was a reasonable expectation of privacy in between two parties, and one of those parties breached that reasonable expectation. In addition, the means of that the information that was taken was tortuous and unethical and is punishable by law. While my opponent may say that Scott Siddell had forgotten to sign out of his private email account before being terminated from Structured Settlement Investments for completely unrelated reasons, or that company had jurisdiction on its computers, these are not excuses to give the company the right to access and monitor non-employees' personal and confidential emails that are not on a company server for weeks without an individual having the knowledge of it, especially if these emails regard litigation towards that company in question. It is against federal wiretapping laws for a company to read personal emails of a non-employee without the explicit consent, and that is exactly what we have here. It's actually a felony in the United States to open another person's mail without their authorization. We have laws in place to maintain the safety and rights of people within our societies, and companies should not violate that. It was appropriate for Scott Siddell to argue that Structured Settlement Investment should not have monitored his messages sent through a web-based server such as Yahoo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.